Well, this certainly gets your attention after a 31.
Devin Booker left Game 2 against the Pelicans after injuring his hamstring, leading the short-handed Suns to make some uncharacteristic mistakes on both ends down the stretch. While Landry Shamet was the initial sub for Book, the five-man lineup of Ayton, Crowder, Bridges, Paul and Cam Johnson finished the game, which took my mind back to a very similar situation on November 30. Devin Booker strained his opposite hamstring against the Warriors, and Monty Williams did not hesitate to make Johnson the direct substitute and eventual second half starter. On this occasion, the Suns landed the plane with ease even without their team captain. Let's take a look at a few reasons why. First, we can see that when the Suns run high pick and roll in the middle of the floor, Jay Crowder often gets the reward for Chris Paul gaining extra attention on the ball and Cam Johnson's defender not prepared to help off him in the corner. Paul often is left to work his magic in a 2v2 with Ayton because defenders again are late to help off the shooters in the corners. Or because a shooter like Johnson empties one side with a ghost screen and takes his defender with him.
3-point Suns lead. Paul, a little fake by Paul.
Then, in switch situations, the Suns shooters stretch the defense right out and allow Ayton to get easy buckets down low. It's an offense that can eventually wear down even the most connected defenses, resulting in getting teams into rotation, errors on communications, penetration into the paint, and frustration fouls.
Crowder finds Bridges. And now Paul is going to reset. Looking for Ayton, and just mauled by...
So while tough shot making was the Pels' path to victory in Game 2, the Suns have a clear proven blueprint on how to generate offense without Booker. Here's Monty Williams explaining how CP3 can get it done.
He was running middle pick and roll. A couple times we did a side pick and roll, but they were switching. And, the big backed up and he had a hot hand. He was knocking down shots, and then there were a couple times he just got to the basket. But I think the team set up having the shooters around him allows for him to get to the paint. And DA and JaVale diving puts a lot of pressure on the rim, but that's just classic Chris. At the right time, he takes over, and we needed it. It doesn't happen if we're not spaced properly. All of our guys understand for Chris and Book to be effective like that, we have to be in our proper spaces, whether it's extreme corner or at the 4-point line. And a couple times when he got all the way to the rim, you could see the floor was spaced because we do have guys who can knock down shots.
So with that version of Paul and Johnson also with the starters, how can the Suns build on what they did in Game 2? Well, if Paul begins gaining extra attention, he needs to trust Ayton on the short roll to use his gravity and find the open man. They can also keep running dual screens for Paul and force guys to help from bad spots on the floor. Or as ghost screens to test if the Pelicans want to switch. If not, Paul is happy to shoot himself. And as Monty said, he'll even drive on rare occasions too if the Pelicans dare him by refusing to help from the corners.
I've said this a number of times that we look at Cam as a starter to be able to bring a guy off the bench who can shoot like that, but also attack the basket and go to the other end and defend. He puts the work in, and he's more than a shooter.
When your coach calls you a starter, then you have to start when the opportunity presents itself. But here's the real kicker. The Pelicans right now are picking Crowder as the guy they are happy to sag off or force to put the ball on the floor. And it's working. Johnson, Bridges and Shamet have all shown an ability to not only hit open shots, but also attack off the dribble if need be. So if Crowder continues to struggle, don't be shocked to see Shamet join the best five-man group out there for the Suns. And so with that, I'll leave you with two plays from that exact lineup from back in that November Warriors win.
On NBA League Pass as you go through the schedule of games. Delighted to have this matchup with us on TNT tonight as Chris Paul knocks down a